And we've got special guests joining us here in studio. David Weems and Stacey Beal joining us for the March of Dimes Walk for Babies coming up soon, as a matter of fact, isn't it?
Yes, Saturday, May 17th on the Curry Lane side of Redbud Park.
All right, so just a little over about a week and a half to be able to plan for it. Tell us a little bit about the walk. Actually, first of all, we should go back and say March of Dimes kind of invented the walk, that we all know to come and love for all of our favorite organizations. But
yes,
you're the first, right?
Yes, we were actually the first walk ever in 1970. And ironically, it happened in San Antonio, Texas. And then it also happened in Columbus, Ohio. And the way we got walk started was, most people relate the March of Dimes to babies and saving babies and specifically premature babies and neonatal intensive care unit babies. But really, we began as a polio organization with a president in 1938 who had polio. And polio was a crippling viral disease. So in 1970, after years of Mother's March, where mothers walked up and down their neighborhood streets after hours and collected dimes from families who left their porch light on, we started the whole "We'll Walk for Those Who Can't." And in 1970, we hosted our first 2 walks, and it's just grown every year from there.
Yeah, an exceptional growth, and including right here in Abilene, as a matter of fact.
I believe we're the largest walk in Abilene. That's correct, at Redbud, and it's been at Redbud for the past 18 years.
Really? That's all? Only 18 straight years,
14 of them mine. It seems like a long time to us, I think.
Yeah, and David, you've been involved. This is your first year chairing it, is that right?
That's correct. This is the first year I'm the chair. I've been involved in March of Dimes for several years.
Long time, yeah.
Given personally and been involved with, I work for First Financial Bank, so I've been involved through the bank for a number of years, but this is definitely my first year to chair. So I'm
Interestingly enough, First Financial has been a team for us since the inception of the March of Dimes in Abilene, Texas. So they have never not participated as a team.
Yeah,
so we get a lot of strong chairs from there, and David's just the right fit for this year. So he's chairing the whole thing.
All right. I'm kind of intrigued. I always wonder when people get so deeply involved in these things. What motivates you to do it?
Well, I was hired actually from another charity locally and went to work for the March of Dimes in 2000. And I will tell you, the year after I went to work for them, ironically, I had a premature baby of my own. And she was just over 4 pounds. She's a perfectly healthy 12-year-old today. But it's not just work for me. It is personal for me.
Yeah. And David, just knowing that you're involved in a community, or is there something more to it than that?
Well, obviously, the March of Dimes, the mission is to help every baby. And so that's a very worthy cause to support. And so for me, both of my kids were born healthy, and I want to give every other child the chance to be born healthy as well. So I think that's one reason I support the March of Dimes.
Exactly. Most people probably don't know we touch every single baby born, but we especially touch those who are born too small or too soon. Yeah,
they're special needs babies right from the very beginning. Yes. And, premature birth is something that we were talking off the air just a little bit about this, Stacey, that, so many babies are fine now,
yes.
After being born premature. It just hasn't been the case all the time.
A normal pregnancy is 40 weeks, 40 weeks of gestation. And we are now having babies live at 23, 24, 25 weeks, way premature. Unfortunately, it's coming with a large cost. And I think this is why we're really important to businesses like First Financial Bank and other large businesses, because there's a huge financial impact. It's actually $26.2 billion a year our nation spends to keep these babies alive. And we know that out of all the premature births, just under 500,000 births each year, we could have prevented at least 50% of those had we known the signs of preterm labor.
Stacey Beal and David Weems joining me here in the Mix 92.5 studios. We're talking about the March for Babies coming up a week from Saturday. How can somebody get involved? What's the best way to be able to just kind of get into this and get in the walk?
Okay, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can call the office at 672-0566 and get a new team packet from me, Stacey Beal, or you can go online and register your own team, a family team or a corporate team, at marchforbabies.org. We're the March of Dimes, but the event is called March for Babies, and you can sign up at marchforbabies.org.
Okay, so it's fairly easy to get involved. You probably have a lot of, what is the best way, repeat customers?
We do. We have
a
about
lot of
130 teams that walk, corporate and family teams, but we have, our awards breakfast has become kind of a big deal. These top 15 teams every year, boy, they're vying for those spots, and they really want to be in that first top 5. So there's a little upset every year where somebody kind of gets knocked out of their place, and it sort of changes and mixes around. And we always do the awards breakfast in June at Abilene Regional Medical. They host that for us.
Okay.
And so we kind of make a friendly competition out of it, if you will. But I think the thing that's really cool about our organization and about this particular event is it matters not what bank you are, what grocery store you are, what beer company you might be from, or soda pop company. When it comes to saving babies, we're kind of all on the same playing field because the March of Dimes touches every single baby.
Yeah. Are there a lot of? Do you get a lot of really small organizations or even just families who get involved in this kind of thing?
Family teams is a huge growing entity for us, and most of the time it's personal. A family's either lost a child, unfortunately, or had a premature baby, or just really had a baby that was born premature and wasn't in neonatal, but had a rocky start instead of a healthy start, and they just get involved and they just kind of stick with us. So.
All right. So we've got this coming up here a week from Saturday.
Yes.
May 17th.
Yes.
Registration begins in the morning, I'm assuming. You get a little time to get registered and get ready to go.
The day at the park. It's all on the Curry Lane side of the park. And what we do is everybody starts arriving between about 8 and 8:30. Registration begins at 9. And for teams who have not already turned in their money on bank day, they'll come through the registration tent and turn money in. And Davis Conrad, the accountants at Davis Conrad are so kind. They're there working and counting it all for us. And so we get everybody through registration. We have breakfast items available. United Supermarkets is a sponsor for us, and they do all of the logistics of that for us. And then we kind of have our warm-up, and we get out on the track, and it takes a few minutes to get us all out on the track. And once we get all these teams out there, we walk 2 times around the park, no cheating and cutting through the middle. We've got people that try to do that every year.
Darn it. Okay.
And then they have to walk 2 times. It's 3 miles. In the olden days, it was like 8 to 10 miles. And then once we're done, all the teams start coming in, of course, at a different pace. So they're all coming in kind of sporadically.
Right.
And then we feed them lunch. Our United Supermarkets, I should say, feeds them hot dogs and hamburgers and chips, and Coke is out there. Pepsi is out there, and it's just a fun time. There's all kinds of fun family events for the children, face painting and coloring, and bounce houses that we get donated. Bluebell Ice Cream comes and gives away ice cream, and everything the day of walk is free. It is a celebration of our fundraising efforts.
Oh, that's cool.
It's all sponsored.
It's more than just walking around a track, though. I mean, it is a...
There's some people that run. There's some people that bring their pets, and only if they're not biting pets.
Right.
But one
pets.
time, I think we even had a dog water stop, so out on the track. And we have water stops out along the way, and people kind of get out there and walk at their own pace, but it really is just kind of a celebratory thing because this event raises $350,000 in our community. It's huge. It's grown.
Wow.
It's
every bit counts too.
I mean,
that sounds like a really big sum, and for somebody who wants to make a contribution individually, just understand that every bit counts, because that's probably where you get an awful lot of that total.
Yes.
Just through people who just make their donations
about
through walking teams.
About 80% of our revenue comes from those top 15 teams each year, and the rest of it is all small individuals or family teams that come in.
Wow.
Sometimes it's just individual walkers who show up and turn in their money and walk.
All right. Stacey Beal, David Weems, thank you so much for your time. Real quickly, I want to ask you one more question. If, say, for instance, next Saturday I'm busy, I got to go out of town or something like that, and I'm not able to participate in the walk, is there a good way for me to go and make a donation? What's the best way to be able to do that?
Yes, we host a bank day. Actually, that's held at Prosperity Bank downtown on North 4th and Cypress on the 13th, Tuesday the 13th. And we have a time between 11 and 2 p.m. where teams or family teams can turn in their money and get a T-shirt for coming and bringing it in on bank day. Can you imagine if $350,000 came in just at the walk site, unsecured and needing to be counted?
It'd be frightening.
So that would be frightening. And if you have an inclement weather day, that's really bad.
Right,
so it's hard on the charity. Right. So years ago, we implemented Bank Day, and that will be held from 11 to 2 on the 13th at Prosperity Bank downtown.
All right. Awesome.
You can also give online at marchforbabies.org.
That's right.
It can be done through a credit card or a bank draft, something like that as well.
All right. Thank you so much for taking some time and coming in to talk with us.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Let us know if there's anything else that we could do to be able to help get word out about the March of Dimes March for Babies walk coming up.
Thank you. It's a great event. So we hope to see everybody out there on Saturday, and we hope for good weather.